Hi, everybody. It's Sadie. Sadie and Sean have no friends. And we'd like to say thank you to our sponsors. We have so many wonderful small businesses like Garage Door Service and Sales. Go to garagedoorserviceandsales.com for more details on their amazing products. But today, it's part of our interview series. And I'm so excited to have this guest because I think that you live a fascinating life and I want to hear all about it. And so your name is Joe. Now we can't give too many details about you, right, Joe? I mean,
Yes, that's good enough.
okay.
It
So for
reminds
good.
me of one of those episodes of like Dateline when they had the dude from the Hell's Angels on, and they made his voice all funny and they blurred out his face.
Well,
But you're not
today,
from the Hell's Angels, right, Joe?
No, and this is my voice. So
thank goodness.
yes.
Um, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe. A mutual friend of ours, I would say, reached out to you to connect us about having a conversation because of something you're very interested in. And I'm just going to let you kind of take it away from
Yeah,
there.
it was my friend. You know her, or she's part of your group, I guess. And anyway, we were drinking beer, watching football, and she said, "Oh, you got to listen to the Liz podcast." She says, "But she says I they were talking about that was it. Once you're over 50 or whatever, sex dies."
I
And
think Sean said that. I didn't say
I
that.
knew
I
I was
hope
going to
that's
get
not
blamed for this.
true.
I
yeah,
did
well,
not.
so you're the culprit.
I
So
didn't say that. I think that was taken out of context. I
I
said
don't
I
know.
think I
Multiple
wonder.
people heard it,
I
Sean.
I said I
yeah.
think I wonder what happens, and I don't
Oh,
know that 50 was the age that I said either. I think it was
Well,
above
you're not
that.
the
But
first. You're not the first one I've heard say that. Actually, I heard it on the Today Show one time with Miley Cyrus talking to Matt Lauer, and of course, Matt, being the horn dog that he was, lost his job. So,
he's like, I totally
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So
Um,
anyway,
anyway,
I interrupted your story there to
yeah,
try to
yeah,
defend
Sean.
yeah.
myself and
So
not do it
anyway,
very well. So
yeah, don't worry.
So,
So
yeah, tell us.
so she told me. She said they. Basically, 50, it kind of dies. And she says, I couldn't help myself. She says, I wrote a note back, say, I know a couple who's in there. We're old. He says, and they still have sex 3 times a day. And they're
A
also
day?
swingers. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
No, no, no. There's nothing.
I
I'm
need to
just
know
like,
your
my
secrets,
mind
but
is blown. That's insane. Okay. So,
It's
okay. So,
always been that way. It's always been that way. I have this wonderful partner. So,
how
wow.
long have
So,
you been with your partner, first of all?
33 years.
30, and it's always been that way since
It's
33
always
years ago.
Yeah, well, we were seeing other people too, but it was, it's just how we are.
So from the start of okay, so Joe, we've got to give a little bit of your backstory so people know what we're kind of even talking about. But
Certainly.
as you mentioned, you've been married for 33 or no, 24 years together for 33 years with your wife. And you guys are now in your, can I say your age?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so you're in your 70s, you're in
Yes,
your mid 70s, and you guys are a swinging couple.
yes. It's not like we used to be because most of our friends are getting old and dying. You
Oh,
Some of
no.
it's a sad, but that is happening. So,
So tell me how, like, this all happened. Was this from
uh,
the start of the marriage, or is this something where you guys were straight and narrow, and then you were like, "Let's spice it up"? How did this come about?
okay. Well, we were never straight and narrow. What happened was is I had gotten divorced. She had been divorced, and I'd been married quite some time. And I said, I never really did anything. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna play around and see a lot of women.
Ooh.
And so and I did. And so anyway, she got with me, and we started, dating. And she says, well, how many women are you seeing right now? And I said, counting you? And she says, yes. I said, 5. And she goes, 5? I says, "They all know about each other." I says, I don't li I'm not lying." I says, I said,
Yeah.
you'll always get tripped up if you lie, so you just be upfront
Just
about
be
it."
to yes.
And I said, "I found out that women don't care that you're doing that as long as you don't lie to them." And and she's, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure." She says, "Well, maybe I can live with that." And then she
Oh, so in a way, you like that's how you introduced it, where you were like,
when
you
we
know,
were we were both active.
okay.
We were seeing other people, and
So
then she asked me, "Well, do you have a problem with that?" And with me seeing other men, and I said, "No." I said, "There's no double standard here, none at all."
so it
So,
didn't bother you. So now
no,
some
no,
people may come out and say that's not normal in a relationship, which some people have you ever heard that where people are like,
all the
doesn't
time. No,
yeah.
all the time. And she had told some of her friends, that I was seeing other people, and they didn't get it why she was seeing me. And uh, he says, "Well, we have fun together, and he's good to be with." And um, she says, "Why not?" So what you're saying is what you would consider, and that I think is the normal. People. I'm not putting up with that. I'm not. You're either seeing me or I'm out of here. Only me. A lot of people
Yeah.
want exclusivity. That was not important to me. And plus, the other thing was she's not a jealous person, and I'm not a jealous person. And that could be a killer, to
Right.
something like this. So I mean, you gotta kind of be made that way. As somebody said, there might be a jealousy gene in our makeup, and some people have it, some people don't. So
But I would say majority of people would have that jealous gene. I think it would be very rare to be like, "Yeah, it's totally cool," you know?
uh,
So I think that is rare.
I think it's taught.
You
I don't.
do?
Yeah, I do think it's taught because she was like that in the beginning. She says, "Well,
Oh.
I'm not sure about seeing other." I says, "That's fine, and let me know what you feel like doing." But I didn't at that time. We were just dating, and I said, "So I mean, you make your call, and that's it. But I'm doing what I'm doing."
So
And
wait. You guys
okay,
okay, so when you started dating, you were both dating other people, and then you just continued dating. You were like, "Listen, this is how I wanna do it. I wanna have it's
I
not
was
just."
not dating. She was dating. She was not dating
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm five?
other people.
Oh, she was not, but you were.
I was, yes.
Yes, and you
Mhm.
kind of put it out there at the beginning, like, this will never be like an off limits thing?
Right, I told her, I said that I'm not going to be exclusive to you.
Oh my
And when you
gosh.
say exclusive, I'm curious, is that exclusive like just with sex? Like are these people just the other people that you're seeing? Are they just for fun, if you
Set for
will?
set for set no, no, there was relationship there.
Oh, there was relationships
Yeah,
tied to them
yes,
too.
there
Okay.
was. And when we first started talking, she says, "Well, you're seeing me now. Don't you think you ought to, end it with these girls?" And I said, "I've just met you." I said, "These girls know about each other." And I says, "I also like them, and they're good to me." I says, "I can't do that, and I won't do that."
Ooh,
And
wow.
and she, "Oh." It was, and I was expecting her to to leave immediately, and
Yeah.
she surprised me.
You
She
must be,
just
like,
looked.
incredibly hot. We can't have your camera on, but I'm picturing, like, a
No,
Fabio.
no, 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 no. What she said to me, she says, "You're an extremely honest man." She says, "I think I might be able to live with that."
See, and I
So
think that that's, kind of there's sometimes a negative stigma when it comes to, what you guys are interested in. But the bottom line is you're kind of just being honest. I mean, like they say not to be a pessimist here, but majority of marriages they fail. And
mhm.
so you're just you're not sneaking around. A lot of people just sneak around.
Well,
You
that was the
seem
point.
yeah.
Yes, that was the point. She says, "I never lied to her.
Yeah.
I didn't have to lie to her." And we were very upfront about it.
So
And so, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, but being with her for as long as you have, what if she wakes up tomorrow and she's just like, I kind of want to not do this anymore? Would that be
Well,
what would you
we're not
do?
that we're not that big into it as like we used to be. You know, we still do. I mean, we have couple friends, and we do go to places. You know, they like to. There's swinger clubs
Now
in the
I
United States and Europe. You know, and so forth.
Well, there's multiple layers to this whole thing because there's the relationship layers where it sounds as though this didn't start out as a swinging situation necessarily. Correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
Joe, but it
no,
started out as just
that is
multiple
correct.
partners at different
It's
times, correct?
that is correct. You are
so
correct.
it was like kind of just an open relationship.
It was an open relationship.
Okay.
That's a correct description. Yes.
And
I,
then so then fast forward a little bit and tell us how it went from an open relationship into a swinging relationship. And basically what is the difference? Because I think as people who maybe haven't been involved in that lifestyle before, you just assume that swinging is just a big giant orgy. I think that that's what goes through my mind, and that might not be
Yeah.
exactly what it is. So I know I asked multiple questions there, but how did it go from an open relationship to swinging, and what is swinging?
oh well, that's that's kind of a hard question to answer even for myself, you know, because there's so many different layers of it, as you said. You know,
Yeah.
like when we were seeing other people, and we kind of were living like swingers, except it was an open relationship. But then we uh, we went to Las Vegas, and there was a yeah, of course, you know, and there was a club. It was a swingers club, what they call an on premise swingers club.
How do you
So
find out about that stuff? You know what I
oh,
mean?
just go swinging clubs in whatever state you're in right now and Google it, and you're going to find
Stop
a
it.
bunch of it. I'm dead serious.
How many okay, so you are calling from Texas, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, you're in Texas. I mean, how many per state? I gotta wonder. I know Denver has like multiple that I'm just now finding out about that these are like a thing. Now, Joe, something that is interesting to me is I was talking to a friend who knows kind of also about the swinging clubs downtown and but it's incredibly secretive, and she was explaining to me like it's really kind of hard and secretive. So is that hard to get into? Because I'm sure they don't want like lollygaggers going down having
Oh my God,
zero
no.
interest.
No, 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 no. There is rules. One of the things that people they think of as swingers club, it is really dominated by women. The women write the rules.
Mm.
So it's very as a lot of the ladies will tell me, she says, I feel safer here than I do in some bar. She says, some of the stuff that I be at a bar and some of the stuff that is said to me and how uncomfortable I get. She says, here I know what we're here for, and I can say no, and I'm not bothered anymore. You know, and so actually, that's different. It's actually quite healthy as far as a lady is concerned. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
so, but as far as secret, yeah, that's I got off the subject. Uh,
Okay.
how the you contact them, and some will do an interview with you, and but in the beginning you'll have to be either a male female couple, or
Oh.
you can be a single female. They
Oh,
it,
no single males.
oh there can be single males, but they really vet you very very closely,
Which makes
and
sense. I mean,
Which
yeah,
totally makes sense.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what's like the vetting process? Can I have like what would you be
Oh,
asked?
oh well, most of the thing is, you know, if you're uncomfortable with something like this, because they're going to take your driver's license, they're going to copy it, and they're going to put it in their files. So your information is out there if it gets spilled, and so you got to be sort of committed to this,
Yeah.
and so if you're not if you're trying to hide something, you're going to you wouldn't even do that. You say, no, I don't feel like doing that, or I don't want to do that. The other thing is money. You know, if like, let's say for some club, if you like, let's say it's a Saturday night, that's a big night, you know, in some of the clubs, and
Yeah.
it could, depending on the club, it'd be $100 a couple.
My
Single
God.
men could be $200 for the
Oh,
single
you
man.
have to pay? What if you're really good
Not
looking? Do they
always.
knock off some
Oh
cash?
no, there are you do, but there's memberships too. Of course, you get to
Oh,
pay
that
for
you
them,
have to pay.
but you pay an upfront fee for a membership, you know,
It's like a
and
gym.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I
it
probably
can,
wouldn't use my swinger card either, just as much as
yeah,
I do.
What's
yeah.
the advantage?
It can get like a gym sometimes. Yes, you know.
Oh, zazing.
What's the advantage to going to one of these clubs and paying rather than just like finding other swingers and having them at your house and doing it for free?
Oh well, you do that also,
Oh,
but sometimes you want to. Yeah, no, you do both. This
okay.
is just one of the things. There are swinger magazines. Look like there are, and you join them. I'll give you an example. There's one. It's very well known. It's called Swingers Date Club. It's all over the United States.
I'm
Just
gonna
look
have
it
that
up.
sent to my parents. What is it called?
Swingers Date Club.
You know what's
And
funny? My parents would use it. So that's interesting. So
yeah.
what? They make a magazine about everything.
Oh yeah, and well, most of it now is web oriented. There was magazines until the internet.
So I know, I mean, I'm sure, I don't want to say I know, but I would assume so, that there are a pretty good number of, like you were saying, internet, like Facebook clubs you can join and connect that
Yes,
way too.
there's actually clubs on Facebook.
So wait, do you ever walk in and you're just not into it, and then your partner's into it? What do you do?
You talk with each other.
You start talking.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, you discuss what do you want to do, and usually, if like if my wife says, "I am not in the mood for this right now," or "I don't feel like doing this," and I go, "Okay," and then we'll go home. That's fine. You know, uh, but other times it's just I'm going to have fun tonight. And that's
Well, that leads us to I think the burning question that everybody's going to want to know is you're going to have to explain the process. So take us from
Yes.
start to finish, walking into this club until you walk out of the club. Explain what a typical night would look like.
Okay. Let's say it's you dress nicely. I mean that there is a dress code there. Like the guys will not be wearing tank tops. They will not be wearing cut off jeans.
I
They're
mean,
gonna
not
wear,
to interrupt you, but I would
yeah.
imagine in my mind, it's like the cream of the crop. They're not letting any overall wearers in there. I mean, you got to
Oh no.
smell nice. You got to
Yeah,
look
exactly.
nice. Okay.
Exactly.
Beautiful
Yeah.
people. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to say everybody's beautiful, but but you have to dress nicely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're going out to dinner to a nice restaurant. It's like that's for the men.
Casual
Now the women,
chinos.
yes, but the women, they're in lingerie, and I mean the only time they're covered up is when they walk in the place. Otherwise, as soon as
And
the
then
coat
do they,
comes off, oh yeah, they're in lingerie and then some, and it can also be regular dress, but a lot of them really are exhibitionistic. Yeah.
and they just, right when they walk in, it's like you have this barrier of like freedom. Do you have to go down steps or something?
Well, it depends on the design of the club,
Well,
and
you can't have one on the corner with lots of windows if you're gonna be.
they black them out if they have windows, but
So
go
you
ahead.
walk in, everybody's dressed, the dudes are dressed nice, the chicks are in
Yes.
lingerie,
Yeah.
and then
So
do you
what
just
you
get right
have
to
is-
it, or
No. There's like a big area, usually with music. People dance, and socialize. There's tables there. You bring your own booze, so they don't have to have a liquor license. But they'll have
Oh.
setups like Coke or and whatever else. And there's girls who work. There's servers.
Like
And
Coke, like where you would do Coke, or like what?
Coca-Cola, not
Oh
Coke.
my God, sir. I was like, this is out of
No,
control.
we're not. No drugs.
Oh, you
No
get a
drugs allowed.
Coke.
No,
Okay.
a
Okay.
Coke and I'll put some bourbon in it. Get it? You know?
Get it. Got it.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Got it.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the general area. Now, off to other parts of the club, there'll be private rooms. Some private rooms are just, for a couple only. Some will be private rooms or maybe for two or three couples. And then there's also what you would have to call it an orgy room, where everybody is just one big pile of people.
Just, do you ever get used to seeing an orgy room, or is it like the first time every time where I think I would just be shocked? I would just, are
Well,
you
maybe
just
the
so
first
used to
time.
but now you're like, that's the orgy room.
Yeah, I kind of like it, so it's fun.
Have you ever gone into like, do you have to check in and be like, may I join you like a
No.
3-on-3 game?
You always ask permission.
You
You
say,
don't
may
just
I
go,
join your,
yes, or you don't go touching anybody, but you ask, may I touch you?
has anyone
And
said no to you? Like, no.
yes, yes.
See,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think this is for the fragile of heart
No,
because
Mhm.
that would be the end of my
that'd
boner.
be
Yeah.
I would slowly get my coat, Joe, and I'd walk
No,
home.
there's so many, Sean, there's so many there that no, it wouldn't be. Yeah.
You'd be like,
No,
fine, I didn't want you.
there's a lot available.
Okay, that makes sense. So then, all
You
right.
will find a
So
home.
you walk into this orgy room, and then you start asking people for permission, and you just go to town.
If that's, yeah, if you feel that's what you want to
Yeah.
do,
Okay.
and some people, they just go in, they're voyeurs, they want to watch, that
Oh.
happens too, you know,
How
and
do you know? Do you just ask them? You're like, what are you into? Do you just
well,
walk around saying that?
if you already got your clothes off, it's obviously you want to, be
Be
doing something.
seen.
Yeah, and you're also available, and
Have you ever been to one of them Brazilian steakhouses where, like, if you want the meat, you turn your little thing to green, and if you
yes.
don't want the meat, you turn it to red? It almost is like you should wear a necklace and you should
That's what I
change
was
the
kind of
colors.
thinking. Like, you guys
Funny,
need
funny, funny you
badges.
should say that, because some of the I just started seeing this in the last couple of years. They actually have armbands with different colors on 'em, or wristbands, I should say, with different
Oh.
colors as to what you're into,
Hmm.
or what you're really into, So I mean,
Yeah,
some
and I
people.
think there's a lot of dudes that are going to want to know this question, and so I'll be the guy that asks it. Is it male on female all the time, or I would be worried, Joe? I'm just going to be honest. I can only be just frank, and that is, I would be worried like that. I'm not
A
into
guy would
dudes, and
show
a
up.
guy would, yeah, all of a sudden a dude is trying to stick something in something that I don't want something stuck in.
No, it's been attempted. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, I've seen it tried. No, that's not acceptable.
Then what do you
Yeah.
do? Are you like, pack it up
Yeah.
and get the hell out of here? This
You
isn't
tell
one of those clubs.
you
Did you
tell
do
them to
that,
leave, and
Joe?
yeah, you tell them to leave, and in a very firm voice. No, we're not doing that.
I assume there's clubs for people that are into that sort of thing. So
Yes,
those kind
yes,
of
there
people
is.
probably would go to those
Yeah,
clubs.
yes, there is. You
But is
know,
that
uh,
Joe, is that explained before? Maybe that guy thought it was kosher and then it wasn't. I mean,
no,
you
there's some
know?
people that have no couth whatsoever. I mean, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, that
Sean.
yeah,
Mhm.
no,
Mm.
I don't know. He doesn't seem that way. Yeah.
No.
Let's put it this way. I mean, I've seen where, girl is, with a guy or whatever, and she's got her and she doesn't know who it is. And she turns around, who are you? Yeah,
It's the orgy.
well, yeah, but you still ask permission,
Yeah.
and some don't, so
Wow, that is really bad manners. Those
yeah, so
Is there
that's
like a
bad
assholes.
manners.
referee?
That is bad manners. That's right. No, the
I don't
referee's the guys take care of it.
Oh,
If a
okay.
girl,
Yeah, yeah.
I
if a
was gonna
girl says that
say,
she's
is there
uncomfortable, the men take care of it.
yeah, I was
You,
gonna say,
you
is there
know,
some level of security there? Because
yeah,
I could
yeah.
see how maybe somebody would get really angry and wanna
There
do
is.
yeah. It's
You
you
have you have a couple
guys?
you have a couple guys who you would call bouncer types, and they're gentlemen, good guy, they're good people, but also it's self-regulating, I guess would be a good term to use.
Mhm.
I mean, if there were a bunch of men there and the lady says, "Hey, I don't want you doing that with me," the rest of the men all of a sudden they're on alert, and
That makes
Or
sense.
you'll get kicked out. And that's just
he will be. Hey, you hurt her once.
Yeah,
Go go away.
for
And
sure.
then yeah. So yeah, we kind of take care of that.
And
mm.
then I'm assuming you find your favorites, and
Oh
those are
yeah,
the people
yeah.
you invite to the house from time to
That
time.
true. And sometimes, I mean, some people I've never met at the clubs. I've had them at house parties, and it turns out it's turned out very good. I mean, I've got some people we've known for 20 years. I mean, we've been doing this a while,
And
and
so that's how it continues on into your 70s.
mhm,
Are these
yeah,
people all in the same age range, or
Oh, yeah, that's a good question,
that
Sean.
is a very good question. Frankly, when I started this, and my wife started this, we were probably in our late 40s, and that that seemed to be you didn't see a whole lot of people in their 30s there
That were doing it.
that were doing it.
Do you think that's because they were just so busy raising families, they didn't have time to get their freak on?
I think that's can be part of it, but the
Yeah,
other thing is, it's just like you finally get used to, the way you were taught that you're not supposed to do that is, one person, one on one only, and then you end up getting divorced. Then you say, you know what? And all the stories I've been told, I'm going to question, and
sure.
that's yeah. And then finally you realize, a lot of times people got divorced because of sexual infidelity. Well, here you don't have sexual infidelity. You
Right.
already know, yeah, you're not lying to each other. Now you have an agreement or an arrangement this is okay. That doesn't mean you don't love me. That doesn't mean you do care about me. I know that, and but it's something it's fun to do. So that's how it is.
Can I
so
ask Oh, go ahead, Sean.
so we got derailed on the age thing just a little bit. So
Oh, yes.
I'm mostly wondering about right now. So you said you're in your 70s right now. What type of age range of people are you swinging with?
Oh, there is there is ageism here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
wondered. Yeah.
Yeah.
there is very definitely. Like when you have your profiles like you put in onto the internet. Like the swingers date club, as I was telling you about. You
Yeah.
put your profile. A lot of people lie on their ages. Yeah,
Mm.
because when you say you're in your 70s, you're not going to get any responses.
So what do you say? What do you say?
I'll say I'm in my 60s.
Oh my god, you dog, you.
I know I
Is
can pass for it though.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you just can't go nuts with it. You can't be like 24.
no, oh my
Ready to
God, no,
rock.
no. Well, the other thing is this, you post pictures. Now, whether or not you can post pictures, but some of the faces, some people block the faces out, some don't. It's personal.
That's like playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, especially when the pictures you see them, and then you see them in real life, and say, hey, those pictures like 10 years old when you were
Oh,
30 pounds lighter.
I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
that's
probably a problem. Sex
and
is a
that and
very
that it
attractional
is
business, right?
it
Like if
is
you're not
it is
attracted to
yeah.
somebody, you're not going to want to sleep with them.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds great, great pictures. Then you meet them, you go, this isn't really what I was
But I
looking.
think that's anyone
You know,
who's ever had to do the online dating thing. That just seems like a
I
problem
th- yeah,
that's
I
just
think you're correct. I think you're absolutely
insane.
correct. Yeah, I mean, I've never done online dating. Well, I've been with her for 33 years, so
Yeah, yeah,
that's never
sure.
something I had to do.
Now, I have a question for you, Joe. With you're married to this woman, she is your partner for so many years, you guys have been together for decades. Is there ever a fear, or have you ever experienced falling in love with someone else?
That can happen.
Like getting strong feelings and maybe thinking, well, this isn't just a lay, this is like I really kind of like how do you guys deal with that?
Well,
Do you have to
you
be
just
on Are you honest? Are you like,
oh
I
yeah,
kind of
very
love
definitely.
her?
No, it's happened. It's happened to me, um, and
You fell in love with someone else?
yeah, yeah. But I wasn't. But also, I'm not leaving. I always say I'm not leaving my wife. You
Oh.
know,
So what do you
at
do in
all.
that situation? Do you
Well,
have to
some
keep
people
you
do.
have to keep the other person that you fell in love with away? Do you have to
Oh,
distance yourself, or do you?
you make
Yep.
you make a triad, you know. If
Oh
you just
my
like,
God, you try to join the three together?
yeah.
Huh. And clearly it's never that has never worked out in a long-term situation, or you would have a third with you now, yeah?
Yeah, that would yes, you're correct. And it's only happened one time in my particular case. And the reason that it didn't work out primarily was she really wanted her own man, and
Oh,
she wanted a traditional
she didn't want to
relationship, which is
share.
no, she did. That was her words. I don't want to share.
Hmm.
But oh, she's our friend. We see her. I mean, we've known her for 10 years. I mean, and
Interesting.
Vicky knew I was very interested. I loved her. And but that's
And
okay.
it didn't bother your wife that you said that you loved her. It didn't bother her at all.
She knew I wouldn't leave her, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't. I mean,
Interesting.
there's no question on that. You know, I'm not leaving my wife. You know, I love my
Okay.
wife.
Yeah.
So you can love more than one person at the same time. You think about that. Yes, you can.
You can. Okay. Wow.
Hmm.
What
Joe,
about pineapples, Joe? Because there's a lot of people that
oh
ask.
yeah.
We often, Sadie and I often laugh. I had Hawaiian decorations at my house one time, and I didn't know about the whole
Didn't
pineapple
know about the
rumor.
upside.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it either. And all of a sudden,
so
we
is
kind
it
of
real?
stayed. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you go to some of these clubs, and it's always an upside down pineapple. And
Yeah,
not a
like what
neighbor.
is that? So that's something that people
It's a
use?
symbol. Yeah, it's to show that this is a
Okay.
swinging couple or something like
Huh.
this.
What are some other signs if you're on the lookout? Say you're on the lookout. What are some signs to look out for other than the pineapple?
Some people actually they'll wear some type of jewelry that that you know what it is. It's kind of like a Mason's ring, type of thing.
What?
Yeah. I mean, and then you know that they're into that. You know,
Holy crap.
there's little stuff. I don't see it that often. I'll be quite frank. The pineapple was new to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Oh
this is, we
man.
brought you on this podcast to talk about this. I would think that you would probably say, and most swingers would probably say, that this is just a piece of your life, right? Like being a swinger doesn't define your life. It's not all you talk about.
No. Oh my God, no. This is
This is like your
yeah,
golf.
I mean, I do other things too. I mean, I hunt and fish, and
Yeah.
I like to travel, and we both do. And so, I mean, it's just, and when we travel, we're not always looking for places to go swinging at. We are
Right.
going to
Sure.
places to see things. So no, it's something we're comfortable with, and if we have in the mood and want to do something like that, we do it.
How often do you say you do it these days? You said you don't do
No,
it.
it's slowed down tremendously, maybe about 3 or 4 times a year,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was at
Yeah.
your height of it? What I mean, what was going on at your height of it?
A couple times a month, and then, we'd have parties at the house, at our home, and, or we'd go to other people's homes, type of thing. There's a lot of what
Yeah.
they're called house parties. They're called house parties, and there could be anywhere from 3 or 4 couples, could be just a couple, 2 or 3 couples, it could be 30 couples. It all
And
depends on
everyone at the house party just knows, like, I'm here to
yeah,
get down
yes,
with any of you.
if you feel like it, because a lot of people show up and then they don't do anything
The-
because they're
Have
not in the
you-
mood for it.
They
Yeah.
just eat the appetizers, Sean.
I feel like
Yes,
that would be
that's
me. I would
true.
get,
Yeah,
I
it
would
happens
miss
a
all
lot.
I would miss all the clues when somebody invited me. I would show up and not know what I was getting myself into, and then I would be like, "Oh, where am I at? What just
Well, if
happened?"
somebody's interested in you, you wouldn't be missing the clues. So,
I don't know. You don't know Sean, Joe. He would miss the clues. Like-
I want to see that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, this has
Joe,
been great, Joe. Thank you so much. I'm sure that the society can be a judgy place, obviously, and
Yeah.
so thank you for being comfortable and talking to us about this.
and
Yes.
can I ask one last question, Joe?
Mhm.
have you ever had anyone find out and hold it against you, or will not want to be associated with you anymore? Have you kind of ever had that happen?
Uh, I personally have not. My wife mentioned to a friend who that she was doing this, and friend that ended
Oh, shit.
immediately, immediately, and then who knows, how many people she told, we don't know. We've had friends of ours who had mentioned it to like one of their neighbors, and this person happened to be an ultra religious person and went through the neighborhood and was telling all about them,
Ooh.
so
So it's like a
that
witch
was
hunt kind of,
it
huh?
was it can be a witch hunt, it's and I know you're ready to end this interview,
No,
but
you're
no,
fine.
well, I mean, it's kind of interesting, people think of swingers, and they, what kind of people are they? You'd be amazed. From a political spectrum, it's just
Mhm.
like in the country. You've got left and right wingers. You've got frankly, we knew some missionaries. They were Christian missionaries.
So you
Yes.
see people where you're like,
Yeah.
I can't even
Where you
believe
would
it.
no, you would not expect it, you know.
What's the most shocked you've ever been in your decades of living this crazy life?
I haven't been shocked. I don't think
Nothing
it's
has shocked you? What do you
no.
what have you seen that might shock the average person?
Oh, I think, if they're not used to being naked and watching a bunch of people having sex, and that could be shocking for some people. I see it on your face right now.
I keep forgetting you can see me.
Yes,
Um,
that's
wow. Well, you know what? What a crazy, interesting life that you lead. And thank you for opening up and kind of explaining to us, because you're like, Saturday nights are the best night. And I'm like, Saturday nights are for 48 hours and sweatpants. And so to kind of peek out and look into, just how other people live their lives is incredibly interesting to me. Sean, what do you
it,
have?
it's only part of my life. Remember that. It's
Of
it's not
course.
it's not my life,
You're right. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. It's just a crazy part of your life that is very different to a lot of people.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with us. I'm very intrigued and I appreciate it.
Oh, well, hope I could give you some enlightenment, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's other people who are like me, or like us, but have different outlooks or opinions. So,
Of
Yes.
course.
if you ever wanted to, pursue this line, there's I'm sure you'll find somebody else besides myself. You know.
Yeah, I mean, so what percentage of people do you think? I think we're all a little bit clueless to this kind of stuff.
I would say probably in the general population, probably 5 to 10% of the people who are swingers.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, that's about what I would have expected.
that it's somewhere in that area and there are people who want to, but the partner doesn't.
Won't do it. I
Right.
see.
And,
Interesting.
and that does happen. So, um, hard to say. It's not a small amount, but let's not get, here's some of these people who I know it's called the lifestyle. That's what they call it.
Oh,
Swingers,
ooh,
it's called Are you in
the
the lifestyle?
lifestyle.
Are you in the
See, again,
lifestyle?
I would be totally like, "Are you in the lifestyle?" Well,
That
yeah,
would be
okay. I mean, I
yeah,
wanna
that would
be
be your
cool.
kickoff
And then
if somebody
later I'd
saw
be like,
yeah,
"What the fuck does that mean?"
yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, okay.
That would be one of the key words if somebody's talking to you and your couple's talking to you, oh,
Oh.
by the way, Sadie, are you in the lifestyle?
Hmm.
Because they are. And they're
Yeah, but
Good
like,
to
I would
know.
assume if they ask that question, they expect some sort of confusion from somebody that probably isn't.
Yeah, it's kinda
well,
like
yes,
the
but they
perfect thing.
either they were very interested in you in that way, or you did something that made them think that maybe you are.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's that's what
Hmm.
happens.
No one has ever asked me about my lifestyle, Joe, but
Oh well.
Who's surprised by that?
Well.
Nobody's
well,
raising their
Sadie.
hand.
You have so far to go. You know.
Hey, Joe didn't start until you said you didn't start this until you were in your mid to late 40s. That's where Sadie's at. So she's got plenty of time ahead of her. Sadie.
Joe,
Yeah.
you just seem too crazy. I think that I would be overwhelmed by seeing so much, pieces that are slapping together. I think that would overwhelm me. Like I would just get overwhelmed and have a panic attack, and then I'd hear the slapping at night when I'm trying to sleep, and it would just be
it's
awful.
like wearing flip-flops at a Mexican resort, all that slapping,
Oh, Joe, you and your orgies kill me. Well, thank you so much for coming on to our interview series. Sadie and Sean have no friends, Joe. Thank you for your wonderful stories. A life. What an interesting life. Or a part of your life, not your life. Thank you so much for listening. We got to give another shout out and check out the Pet of the Week. It's on our social media pages. And thank you to Casey's Pest Control Services. And we will see you or talk to you tomorrow.
See you, Joe.
Bye,
Take care,
Joe.
Guys. Bye-bye.